Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. If it is the first time finding our channel, I urge you to subscribe to our channel and also hit the notification bell. Let us get straight into the story of the day. It reads like this. Hello, can you please share my story with the rest of the world? I grew up in a small town. This town is nestled in the mountains, surrounded by a dense forest and winding rivers. Growing up, we were told that deep within those forests, there was an old abandoned cabin that no one dared to approach. My father told me that even his father before him had told him that not even on a single day was he supposed to approach that cabin in the forest. Even the locals always whispered of a dark presence that dwelled within its walls, a vengeful spirit that haunted anyone who dared to trespass. I once asked my grandfather and said, why are we not allowed to go into the forest as boys, as normal boys should do, just to go into the forest and do a little bit of hunting? He replied me and said, this forest that you see, it was designed many centuries ago by the royal. It was reserved for the royal as a hunting area. You could only hunt in this forest either by invitation, but mainly it was reserved for the monarch. Growing up, I still remember this other day. My mom was so angry at my little sister. It was late at night and she was not in the house. And my mother was going around looking for her. Then we found her. She was outside and she was walking toward the forest. My mother screamed at her and they were so angry, both my mother and my father and my little sister. When they asked my little sister, where were you going? And she said, Mommy, I heard people singing in the forest. People are screaming and singing. They are telling me to come into the forest. They want to dance throughout the night with me, so I was going to meet them. And she was like, Mommy, can you see those lights that are in the forest? Can you see that there is a fire deep in the forest? I want to go and dance with those people. We managed to get to the house with my little sister and my parents, but my little sister will not get into the house. She just said, I want to go back. Then all of a sudden, she spoke with a loud, scary voice. She was like, will you just let me go? And she just collapsed to the ground. My father had to carry her upstairs. The whole night I was so scared. I slept with the light on because her voice was so scary. Even my father, I saw that he had been scared right there for a moment because his face was all sweaty. Then my mom, she rushed to her room and cried. Yes, I knew that she was going to cry because each and every time when my mom had faced a frustrating situation, she would lock herself up in the room and cry. That night, inside our house, there was a whole different atmosphere. It was an evil atmosphere. My father then called our neighbors. Then they tied my little sister to the bed. But throughout the night, I could hear my little sister groaning and screaming throughout the night. Then when the morning came, my sister was a different person. She had changed. She was no longer that quiet little girl. She just changed completely. She grew up and she left town and she never returned. Then one unfortunate day in the history of our town, it was said that a group of curious teenagers decided to explore the cabin. But it all started as a simple, innocent game of truth or dare and a love affair. One of the girls then dared one of the boys that if he journeyed with them into the woods, she was going to kiss him the moment that they reached the cabin. Then they journeyed deep into the woods. Only one remained. She was the one who told the whole story. They say that the moment that they journeyed into the woods, there was the feeling of cold air prickling their skin as they approached the creaky old structure. The moment that they pushed open the door, a chill ran down their spines, and they heard the sound coming out of the cabin. It was the sound of a disembodied voice whispering their names. The girl said that voice called them by name, each one by his or her own name, and said, enter, my children, I welcome you. Tonight we'll dance. As they explored the dark and musty interior, they came across strange symbols etched into the walls and the floor. Suddenly, the door slammed shut and the windows were boarded up, trapping them inside. The girl said that by luck, she managed to run away. The other teens soon realized that they were not alone. They began to feel a very evil presence closing in on them. One by one, she explained that she heard a loud scream, as if someone was stabbing them. They were taken by the spirit that haunted this cabin. Their screams echoed throughout the forest, and the locals could only hear their terrified cries from a distance. In the morning, a search party was sent into the forest, but it did not take too long for that search party to find the bodies of these teenagers. All of them were dead. They found them on a pathway that led to this cabin, and it made headline news. And on the news, it was said that on the bodies of these teenagers, there were bite marks. It seemed as if a strange animal had killed them. To this day, no one knows what truly happened inside that cabin. That girl who only survived that attack, she fell into drug addiction. And anything that she says, no one ever takes her serious. But some say that the vengeful spirit still lurks within, waiting for its next victims to arrive. People from big towns, they do come to our small town because of its beautiful forest and beautiful mountains. I try by all means to warn the travelers not to venture deep into the forest. I always tell them about this cabin, but to them, they just laugh. They think maybe I'm just a small town madman. That was a story right there that I feel so privileged to be the one chosen to share it with you guys. I hope that you have already subscribed to our channel and also hit the notification bell so that the next time that we upload a new story, you will never miss an episode. Let's meet again in the following episodes.